Boom. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday here on the morning show on Stock Market TV. Spencer Israel. Steve Strazza is back with us. We're excited to have Steve back. Well, JC Parets hopefully call in for a few minutes. We got Alfonso today. We have Louie because it's Crypto Fridays on the morning show. So that's going to be fun. What are we talking about today? We got banks. We got earnings. Is that true? JP Morgan? Wells Fargo? BlackRock? Yeah, that's cool. I want to talk about this Tesla robotaxi thing from last night. I thought it was kind of cool. Not going to lie. It's pretty cool. What else is on our radar for the day? DJT, as JC's morning note noted, is having itself a week. Holy moly. We'll talk about that. And yeah, we'll see what that gets us. How about that? Uber, yes, good call, Phil. Uber having a good response to that. I guess the street wanted more from Tesla last night because Tesla's down and Uber's up. So we don't be that bad, man. All right, let's start the show. Here we go. Hey.
Happy Friday. Yeah, it was really a nothing burger. Hurricane Milton down here in the Florida Keys. Truth is, I totally could have done the show yesterday. I was just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm glad to hear it. It seemed like, yeah, you were, for once, you were not in like the direct path of the storm.
We were just fine. However, there's like another one headed for us like next week. So
again,
not through hurricane season yet. I mean, you got to pray for the West Coast, but this one's is not coming from the Gulf.
Does the hurricane season end in like mid-October?
It's supposed to be ending like right now. So they're just going out with a bang this year.
Jeez Louise, man.
They're controlling the weather, Spencer, so it could be hurricane season all year long.
I know.
Speaking of controlling the weather and politicizing things, what's going on here with the DJT? Because I do not look at this thing. I don't think about it. I'm pretty sure I have it muted on Twitter. But yeah, big rally. Throw up slide 2.
Yeah, I have to admit, it was JC. He was the one that tipped me off to this. I like you hadn't noticed. So
you think JC's long the DJT?
No, of course not. I mean, I guess anything's possible. But
so this has really been a big move. I don't know what the past week, really 2 weeks. Trump has moved higher by about 10 points in terms of the Vegas odds.
10 points. That seems like a lot.
Was this the 60 Minutes thing? I don't know anything about this. I heard
10 points. Wow, that's actually quite. I don't look at these things. That's quite a move, guys. Yeah, someone who's more in the know than us is. I do know that Harris went on like a media blitz last week / last weekend. She was like everywhere. She was on 60 Minutes. She was on Howard Stern. It was the whole thing. But this is quite a flippening. Wow.
Wasn't the strategy to avoid doing media for her, and that was working really well? And then what?
Yeah, Phil said she spoke. That was it. I don't know. It could be. I also don't put any stock into this stuff because
look at the volume. Oh, is this just like the smart money coming in late as they should?
Is it late? Is it? We still have 3 more weeks. Is it late? Would be like in 2 weeks, right? That would be late.
Well, you would expect like the betting to be now. Like who's betting on the presidential election 3 months ago, right? Expect the money to come in.
The true degenerates.
I guess like you could like if you were trying to shop a deal in terms of like getting Trump at lower odds, like I guess. But anyway, these things, it's really hard to say. We might all be doing a disservice to the world by talking about them so much. However, I will say, I don't feel bad about it because for our whole lives, they've been talking to us about polls that never mattered. I think this is at least a lot better than that.
Yep. All right, let's do state of the markets. We are going to have JC hop in for a few minutes. I know he's coming. He'll be mobile, but he'll be on. So let's do state of the markets, and then we'll talk. We got a lot of things here. Like I said, we got earnings, banks. We got self-driving taxis. It's gonna be fun. Let's do it. Overall, would you like to do a quick rundown this morning on where things stand? We are mostly in the green. A couple things are not, but the Nasdaq futures are down a quarter point, but more or less things are looking okay. Right? Dow's up, Russell's up, S&Ps are basically flat. ETH, gold. Look at ETH up 2.5% today. The futures, at least. Go ETH. I see you.
Did you guys talk about the inflation? Did you talk about the CPI yesterday?
Yeah, and JC was trying to say that JC's here. He says he's here. You bring him on?
Yeah.
But his camera's off. But the disembodied voice of JC. Are you with us?
What's up, ladies and gents? How are we? Wait
a minute. I have a graphic. I've prepared for this.
You sound like you're in the forest.
I am not in the forest. I am in the car. I have a children's field trip earlier, so I'll be back at the desk. We're going to a farm. Maybe nice. Maybe get some pumpkins. Maybe play with some chickens. Pretty standard around here.
Will they have llamas? You think?
If we're lucky, we can get an alpaca or two. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe a camel. Like sometimes they mix in a camel. My kids their heads are exploding when they see camels. They love it.
The good farms.
They legitimately think that a camel says hump day. That's what they think. That cow goes moo, dog goes roof, camel says hump day.
So JC, your morning note talked about DJT. We were just talking about the fact that you were talking about it. What's the deal here, man?
Well, listen, I'm not a politics guy. Based on what I'm seeing, like everything kind of flipped. So it's probably her starting to open her mouth, and then also kind of like the flight to all the garbage, like China, airlines, Donald Trump, like just the worst possible things on the planet. To me, it's just evidence of risk appetite. Is probably what it is. No, I don't think we need to overthink it. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's the fact that Kamala Harris started talking. I think it might just be flight to just dash for trash, as they say, right, Spencer?
Okay. Yeah. No, that's more or less what we were saying. As far as Kamala's concerned.
JC, when you go to the farm, are you going to ask them about the non-farm payrolls?
Hey, good idea, Steve.
Hey now, listen, I'm that guy. I'm questions McGee when it comes to farms. I just ask a lot of questions. I like learning about animals and stuff like that. I always come out of there with so much knowledge. Like these farmers, really know their shit. So it's actually really cool. So I'll give you some feedback as to what I learned today. I'm sure I will learn something about a new species of pumpkins that I was not familiar with, perhaps. I don't know. But two things that I wanted to point out this morning, which is why I wanted to call in. So thank you guys. But number one, just the sentiment. Sent out a note this morning. People are scared. I can't imagine why. Stock market makes new all-time highs every week. VIX is above 20. Just a lot of pessimism out there, which is surprising considering we're now 2 years into a bull market. Like, it's not like, that recency bias where we just had a bear market and people think that there's another shoe to drop or whatever. Like that's just, we're too far from that. So I'm not really sure what people are so scared about, but it's certainly a good thing. And then also, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody on Twitter for helping us with our project. We're making a list of just the worst humans on Twitter, like the biggest perma bears that have really gone out of their way to make sure they hurt investors when they're most vulnerable, making sure that investors around them have missed out on all those gains. Like those type of evil humans, we're making a list, and we're not going to share that list. It's an internal list. We'll share the results of the project, of course, but it's an internal list that we're keeping. And what I really find humorous is that when people's names keep getting mentioned over and over and over again, they like to chime in and tell us how they're not a perma bear, but yet 50 people just told us that you were. So I'm going to go with the crowdsource, and I'm not going to take your word for it. So we're going to go ahead and add you to the list. But just kind of overall, big thank you to Twitter. You guys are awesome. Love you guys.
All right. Great. We will show the results of this informal survey in the coming
No, we will
weeks.
not. No, we will not be doing that.
No. Yes, we will. The output. That's
we may or may not be showing what the results of our project is.
Yes,
we'll see what happens. But we're not going to share. Like, we're not going to dunk on people. Like, that's not what this is for.
No, of course not.
This is not. Yeah. So we're not going to share the list. If you want to go see the list, just go look at the replies to my tweets. But we're not going to share the list. That's not how we roll around here. But all right, guys, love you. Everybody have a great weekend.
Oh, and he's gone. I want to tell him my quick farm story. When I went on the field trip to a farm as I think in first or second grade, I witnessed a lamb give birth. It was I may have told the story before. It was wild, man. It was totally insane. If you ever get the chance to see like a farm animal give birth, you should do it. It was really something, man. Even the adults were freaking out. It was fun stuff. Anyway, okay. Back to JC's gone, so let's get rid of that graphic. Do you like how I had that graphic already? I knew that was gonna happen, so I kept it. Okay. Anyway, that was fun. Should we do some earnings, Steve? Where do you want to go?
I want to talk about the banks. Throw up the big bank index just for context for everybody. Spencer's going to give us a little rundown here. I thought Wells Fargo's report was no good, but guess what? The market loves it. That's really the best thing. Why don't you start right there with the Wells Fargo?
You want me to start with the Wells? Okay, I will start with the Wells. The GAAP, the generally accepted accounting principles, EPS, came in at $1.42 versus an estimate of $1.28. Their sales came in at $20.37 billion, which came in just below the estimate of $20.41 billion. What?
What, like $100 million below the estimate?
Was it? Yeah, not even.
Great.
Not even.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Right. So
and they beat on earnings or not?
The top line or no, the bottom line came in. That was a beat. The top line missed, the bottom line beat.
They missed pretty badly in terms of their net interest income. Is that right?
Well, everybody did, right? I mean, JP Morgan did too, right? JP Morgan's. Oh, okay, you're right.
They didn't.
Yeah, you're right. JP Morgan's actually came in higher and it rose 3% on a year-over-year basis. Yeah, Wells Fargo's, you're right. Wells Fargo, their net interest income did interesting.
Yeah, so this is let me just tell a little story here. Show the JP Morgan chart zoomed out, show the Wells chart zoomed out. The other banks must just hate JP Morgan, but this is why JP Morgan looks the way it does. I'm sorry, what?
Well, yeah, Wells Fargo's net interest income was down 11% year over year. Geez, Louise.
Right. So these businesses should be the same. There are people actively managing their balance sheets, right, and making these decisions on the lending side of these big banks, right? In other words, should we have more exposure to this kind of credit, less to that? What's the spread that we're trying to play here? They're actively managing these books. So if JP Morgan can come in quarter after quarter after quarter, beating on net interest income, right, beating the street, growing that business, and the other ones can't, at a certain point, if you're on the board of those companies, you got to be like, why can't we simply do what JP Morgan's doing? It shouldn't be rocket science. It also shouldn't be a secret. I would imagine somebody from Bank of America call somebody at JP Morgan and be like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, I don't know why some of these banks can't seem to figure it out, but JP Morgan's just like every quarter. This has been going on, Spencer, for 15, 20 years. In other words, JP Morgan just performing far better than the rest.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a reason why they're the biggest bank in the country, right? Like,
that's really the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. So anyway, Wells Fargo, though, despite this, investment banking was huge for both of them. IB, the growth investment banking, is really making their quarters, it seems to me. Wells Fargo also had a smaller than estimated provision for credit losses. Always a good thing in this environment. The market is rewarding them for this report, even though it's mixed. That's the bigger deal. What's the stock up now? 3%, trading almost $60
Yeah,
pre-market.
Wells Fargo is up 3.5% this morning. JP Morgan is up 1.25%, give or take. Right. So they're both
some of these charts, like Wells Fargo, if you throw up the Wells Fargo, we've been sideways since, I don't know what, middle of second quarter.
Yeah.
Just consolidating. This thing peaked and rolled over really in April, May of this year. So I think these things are geared up for their next move. Earnings is often the catalyst for that. Maybe it breaks this range out and then even breaks this bigger consolidation base out in something like Wells Fargo. Another one I think worth mentioning is Bank of New York. We were all over this one earlier this year, pounding the table on Bank of New York. This is one of the nicest bases in the market. And look at how well it's been working. Got that, 20-year base breakout, 25-year base breakout. And we are legging higher. And Bank of New York is up again this morning. This is another like serial beater in terms of the banks. I think there's a lot more investment banking here than the others. I think some would even probably consider this more of a capital markets or asset management stock more than a bank. But this chart's just fantastic.
Well, anyway, it was a very very handed beat for the earnings and also for the revenue, right? They beat, nicely. Let's see. Revenue up 5% year over year. Assets under custody, $52 trillion, up 14% year over year, which they attributed to rising markets and inflows, which is generally what you want to see if you're a bank, right? What else did they have here? Net income up 16% year over year, but down 3% sequentially. So that's quarter over quarter. What else? Looks pretty good. BK is up 2%, but they're all up, right? All the banks are up.
And that's the bigger point here.
Right.
All the banks out here either beating or putting out mixed reports in the case of Wells Fargo this morning and being rewarded for it. Let's do one more critically important name to the financial sector and probably even the broader market. BlackRock, another good report from BlackRock. BlackRock has beat earnings every quarter since October of 2022 when the stock bottomed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight quarters beating guidance or beating estimates rather.
Yeah, BlackRock is my personal favorite. Again, not a bank, right? Asset manager. I'm a long-term shareholder in this thing. I think BlackRock is.
I think that's smart, Spencer. I like that.
I don't think I'll ever sell this. JC was saying yesterday that people who are long are like guaranteed future sellers. I don't know if I'm a future seller in BlackRock. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever sell this thing. Anyway, the earnings per share came in well above estimates, but like an entire dollar per share above estimates, right? Like mid $11 versus mid $10 estimate there for the EPS. The revenue up 15% year over year to $5.2 billion, which just came in above estimates as well. AUM $11.5 trillion, up about $2.5 trillion on a year over year basis. What else did they say? Buybacks. We know everyone did buybacks last quarter. We knew that already. Operating income up 26%.
What was the buyback announcement?
No, it wasn't a buyback announcement. It was they bought back stock last quarter, which we knew. We all did that. So yeah, BlackRock of all of them is the one that just keeps on trucking, and because they're really in the business of asset management, like it's just going to be inflows all the time, right? That's like the long term. That's what I think is like the long term story there, right? So
this is one of those like master of the universe businesses that I think you just have to own in your long term account.
BlackRock to me is the embodiment of the snowball effect, right? It just and the compounding effect, like that is BlackRock. It's just compounding, snowballing. The big get bigger.
Listen,
that's just how it works.
Throw that chart back up. Just earlier this summer, this stock was trading around $750. It was retesting this base breakout level right around $750. It was so clean.
Yeah.
You had a nice little divergence in place, and it's screamed higher since by like 30%.
Yeah.
In a matter of months. This is a huge company. So that's a nice move, and that's the kind of momentum I want to see as it's running up back against those prior cycle highs, threatening a breakout here. Now you got another nice earnings beat. I think these financials are breaking out. Wells Fargo, BlackRock, any ones that look like this, I think they're going. If you look at XLF, throw back up the big bank index. I don't know if we have XLF, but XLF is all coiled up. It's been coiling since, I don't know, the first week of September. So a month of just tightness here at all-time highs for XLF. And if you zoom out, you got like a monster base. So I think financials continue to be among the best places to be. At a certain point, this trade does have.
Yeah.
Look at the picks.
You've been saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think at a certain point, the trend has to cool off, right? There's got to be some give back there on a relative basis. They've been outperforming for the back half of this year already. I think tech eventually moves back into the driver's seat here in Q4, but financials are so good. Don't throw out your financials. Same with industrials. I think you want a lot of industrials, a lot of financials, and then it's back to tech too. I think those are going to be the trades into the end of the year. Spencer, I'm going marlin fishing tomorrow.
Is that different than regular fishing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to be like Santiago from Old Man in the Sea.
Aren't marlins dangerous? Can they kill you?
What, marlin? They're huge,
Yeah.
dude. They're like monster fish. Yeah, so that's just it's sport fishing. You can't eat them. From what I understand, they're very difficult to reel in, and it takes a really long time. I'm probably not going to be doing that. I'll be like watching and taking pictures.
Right.
But a whole bunch of us, all the guys I play golf with, we're going out. We're going deep. We're going for it. So,
you're going out there.
We're getting way out there. We're going. It's like some sort of shelf on a reef. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Hey, you know what's an interesting chart? And we'll talk about it more next week. Is Goldman Sachs here? It's right there. It is right there. So they're all going to go today, right? Because the whole sector's up, so they're all going to go to some extent. Goldman, Morgan, Bank of America. They didn't even report today. They're going to report Monday and Tuesday. But they're all up here. Goldman that thing is just right.
They're all coiled up.
Yeah, right there.
And ready to go. Earnings are probably going to be the catalyst to break these charts out. You're right. The Goldman chart looks fantastic. Spencer.
I'm coiled up. I'm ready to go. Da, 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 da. No, okay, never mind.
Are you singing John Denver?
Yeah.
I love that song. It's a great song. They all look fantastic, though, is the bottom line. And the bigger point is this is the big earnings kickoff each quarter, right? It always happens on a Friday with these big banks and BlackRock. And 4 for 4. 4 for 4 today. So
I don't know, 3.5 for 4.
Wells is up 3.5%. I don't care if they miss.
I know. Talk to me in 2 hours on Wells Fargo, though.
Oh yeah, you don't trust it? Listen,
everyone's net interest income went up except for theirs. How is that possible?
But this is the best information we get from earnings, right? Because you're right. JP Morgan should be the one that's up 3.5-4% with their report, but they're not. Market expects them to beat their beat machine. Wells Fargo is such a disaster. The market's like, low bar for you, Wells Fargo. And
they did lower the bar. They all lowered the bar like a month ago, right? So
that's the point. Yep. Yeah. Wells Fargo, I probably like the coil more than anything. They're just above that VWAP from the year-to-date highs from May. So if this move does stick, I think it's buyable. I think a lot of these charts are buyable on a little bit of earnings upside here. What else do we have in the news today? I know that you're chomping at the bit to tell me about this robo-taxi.
I do, but let's do that after Louis. We got Louis here. But do we have Louis here? I thought we did. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some Crypto Friday. And then we'll do that.
Got my fingers on the post, avocado and toast, leather seats, jet plane, always ready to go.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
On toast. What's up, Louis?
Lovely to join you guys this morning.
Louis, what's going on? Are they breaking down? Are they still ranging?
No. You're getting bullish. I thought.
I am. They tried yesterday, but you look at that. The price action just over the last few weeks. You had that short-term low. Buyers or sellers try to drag it below, but then they failed, and now we're back above that short-term support. And I think you just want a little bit of patience. I've been talking about just patience. I feel like I've been just sounding like a a broken clock by saying the word patient all the time. But just allowing, crypto to set up. Like JC said, everybody's scared. It's a bull market. Stocks are at all-time highs. It's like ultimately it's set up rather nicely, right? Crypto is bound to participate in a bull market, and so you just want to see that shape develop, and then from there you can get a little bit more bullish tactically.
Is that simply the most bullish data point though for crypto right now? In other words, is the nicest thing that I can say about Bitcoin and friends, hey, look, everything else is working. It has to be coming for us. Is that really the best argument right now?
No, I mean, I would say even if you're just looking at Bitcoin itself, like Bitcoin's actually shaping up rather nicely, right? Like you got that channel, we ran into the channel resistance, and now entering that shaping period. You're seeing a lot of altcoins hold these, short-term retests of support, and so
Yeah.
you are seeing some signs of some tides shifting within the asset class.
How about this Sui? The Sui GUI, Sui USD?
I know, man. Look at that relative strength. I mean, I don't think it's particularly actionable because it's, just ripped and pumped into this resistance. So I think you just want to let it cool down. I think what's really interesting in crypto right now is the divergence between MicroStrategy and Coinbase. I know that you've been talking about that.
Yeah, explain what you mean.
These two have been MicroStrategy and Coinbase have been correlated now for a long, long time. Let's get the chart up. And now they're just really dislocated. And so, the question, whenever we get a situation like this, we always ask the question, like, is MicroStrategy going to catch down to Coinbase, or is Coinbase going to catch up to MicroStrategy? I think, with all the evidence, we're in a bull market, crypto's shaping up rather nicely. If you've got a bullish thesis looking ahead months and quarters, which I do, then I think that it makes sense for Coinbase to catch higher on MicroStrategy. So I think there's quite a nice catch-up trade to be made here. If so long as Coinbase is above these most recent lows, we'll call it 145. I think there's a nice catch-up trade here to MicroStrategy.
I very much agree. I'm currently short puts again. It's weird. If you look at like the Robinhood Coinbase relationship, they go about 9 to 12 months. One significantly outperforms the other, and then they throw it back and forth to each other. Over the past 4 years, it's worked pretty well. Robinhood right now has really emerged as like a premier crypto equity. It looks like MicroStrategy. This week, the price action is incredible.
It's really interesting. You've got, if you look at MicroStrategy, Coinbase, and Robinhood. So Robinhood's already broken out. MicroStrategy is trying to break out, and then Coinbase is just nowhere near. And so it's a really interesting dynamic. And then the Bitcoin miners, they're a mess.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You like the cores though?
That's the one name in that area that's actually shown some relative strength. If you guys are part, you should show that up.
Yeah, and it's more like an AI compute story or whatever, but who really cares when the chart looks like that? To me, the Bitcoin miners, Louis, they're the altcoins, right? MicroStrategy, Robinhood, they look more like the big blue chip cryptos. And then the miners are just like, they're holding, they're not breaking, they're trying to show some signs of life here over the past few weeks. But they're just down on the lower bounds, in downtrends, or at best really sloppy sideways trends. I think you eventually need them. I really do. At least some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to be more of a story of, you get that bull market in crypto, you get Bitcoin breaking out, then they're ultimately going to participate. Every bull market in crypto, these Bitcoin miners have always offered outsized returns. Like you said, these are altcoins. I'm talking about outsized returns. What are these meme coins? Now, again, I'm someone who's very much been advocating patience, but at the same time, they're actually shaping up quite nicely.
You know what else is shaping up quite nicely? In terms of seasonality, the fourth quarter is for the cryptos, right? We all know about like holiday rallies that we've gotten over the years. It was the same story last year. It wasn't specific or unique to crypto last year. The whole freaking risk asset markets everywhere were rallying around the world. But crypto had a monster move October to really the end of the year last year. And then it's done nothing since. And now we're back in October. And like you said, setting up nicely in the world of altcoins. Monster ranges all year in the blue chips. I don't know.
The seasonality is a really interesting one. Do you pay attention to seasonality in crypto?
Not too much, but Jeff Hirsch has done work on it. There is something there.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, Jeff was on the show yesterday.
Yeah. Next to me.
I think in terms of like seasonality, like you want to pay more attention to equity seasonality, and then use that to kind of inform, more of a crypto thesis rather than looking at seasonality in Bitcoin per se. Just because, again, like I say, half of Bitcoin's history is just using it to buy drugs on the internet, and so it's like, how valuable was seasonality data back then? It's like I don't really know. There's not really much data there to support it. And so I think looking at equity market seasonality, then imparting that into crypto makes a bit more sense. But I mean, to your point, you're looking at the seasonal. There is a seasonal tailwind here, and so you could potentially add that to a bullish data point.
All right, you get to buy one altcoin. Give us an altcoin for the weekend.
Ooh. An altcoin for the weekend. I'll go for the Trump.
Oh,
what is that? Like, what? Give me a symbol. I don't follow.
MAGA, MAGA.
No kidding. Is this new? Wow.
And it's interesting. We talk a lot about on-chain data, and I'm just writing up a note right now. There's actually I look at the change in holdings of smart money wallets every week. So on Fridays, I look, okay, what are the tokens that are seeing the largest increase in the balance of smart money wallets? And this one actually featured onto the list. So it had about $500,000 worth of buying from smart money wallets. So interesting stuff.
Can I buy that anywhere where normal business is conducted?
No, you have to go like into the alleyway, like it's dodgy.
Yeah. I got to go down the dark alley to get this. That's one of those.
Speaking of MAGA, the MAGA ETF is making new all-time highs right now. That's an equally weighted fund of a whole bunch of stuff. Constellations in there, Robinhood's in there, Apollo's in there.
What's the ETF trying to track?
It's like America First, man. It's companies that align with your Republican political beliefs. All-time highs.
You guys have too many ETFs over there.
No, not enough ETFs. Louis, what? Come on. Not enough.
Too many
we need more. Delta Airlines is in this thing. Caterpillar.
Louis, how much? I'm not done here. Louis, how much do you think about dollars and rates when you think about cryptos?
It's funny you say that. Now that you asked that question, I haven't really been thinking much about it recently.
Yeah.
But, in the first half of the year, it was a significant part of my approach to crypto. Nowadays, it's less so. Doesn't mean to say that there's not an impact there, but, if the dollar's going to be ripping, then chances are we're not going to get a Bitcoin breakout, right? But it's probably informing less of my view nowadays compared to what it was earlier in the year.
It's one of those things, right, where we're not going to sit here and try and tell anybody that Bitcoin can't break out with a rising dollar or the dollar doing well, right? However, it's definitely the case that Bitcoin is more likely to break out in an environment where the dollar's falling or breaking down from this range, this 100 levels big. It dug in there and has been ripping for a couple weeks now. And risk asset markets, like you're saying, cryptos are holding up fine through it. Stocks are doing well. So it seems okay. But I think that dollar rolling, fading back towards the lower bound, maybe eventually breaking down from this range sometime, before the end of the year. I'm just trying to think of things that could spark a move or be the catalyst to get this range to finally resolve.
You know what I think we really need for a bull market to begin? I think JC needs to be on the show again and ask me when moon, because that's been too long since he's asked me when moon. So I think the next time you ask me that, I think that's like bull market begins in crypto.
Moon. All right, we'll bring back the bull market shirts too. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, the bull market shirts are all like summery shirts. They're all, I guess, where you live, Steve.
Hey,
it's always-
well, to be fair, it is entering summer here in New Zealand,
That's-
so
good point, Louis. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it is getting warmer for you. So,
Louis, when you have beers and talk to your DeFi friends, do you tell them how much better TradFi has been this year? Like, do you kind of like rub that in their face? Do you mention it at all? Do you guys sit there?
I'm kind of like JC on this. I tend to, when people ask what I do, it's like, okay, I work in an ice cream shop. I purposely try to avoid having finance bros around at a barbecue on a Saturday afternoon.
I didn't realize they had barbecues in New Zealand. That's my takeaway from that comment.
When
Are
I
you
talk
kidding me? That's like the big part of our culture, you know?
Okay, I
I
didn't
mean,
know.
I would say shrimp on the barbie, but that's an Australian thing.
Okay, that's fair. All right. All right. Louis works at the crypto ice cream shop. Everyone.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. Thanks a lot, Louis. I know it's late for you. We appreciate you coming out with us.
Thanks, Louis.
Appreciate you guys.
I'm enjoying whatever's going on in the background there. I don't know what that is, but I'm liking it. So
Thanks. Appreciate it. Well, I'm just next to the ocean, so there's a lot of ocean memorabilia at this place. There's some sort of boat there. I don't know. I feel like this is an office more like Strazza rather than me.
why are you always in a different place? Like every week.
I'm just like traveling around. I mean, last week Strazza said I was like in a hostel.
Yeah.
Now I'm in this place. It's I like to get around.
He's got a good life. He works hard. He's doing what he should be. Seeing new
Appreciate you,
places,
Strazza.
trying new things. You're killing it, buddy.
Exactly. Gonna go kayaking tomorrow. It's great.
Great. Jealous.
awesome.
Thanks, Louis.
Cheers, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right.
See, everybody's getting out there. Everybody's getting out there on the water this weekend. Spencer, you getting out there?
I'm not. No, not on the water in October in the Northeast. I will not be doing that. No. Also, tomorrow's a Jewish holiday, and it's the one you have to fast. And
October. I'm freezing.
I wouldn't get out on the water. Certainly not. No, I would get out and go like apple picking, which I did last weekend, or pumpkin picking for sure. But this is
Well,
the
that's
time
good
to do
too.
that. Yeah.
Are you gonna carve a pumpkin?
Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know when. Where you know what's exciting is I've always lived since I've been an adult. I've always lived in like apartments or in neighborhoods with like no kids. Now I live in a place with like a lot of young families and a lot of kids. So this is like the first time in my life that I'm gonna have trick or treaters. And growing up, we lived on a cul-de-sac. We never got trick or treaters ever. So I'm gonna get a lot this year. First time in my life. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for Halloween. So.
The chat doesn't like this Greystone guy. Get rid of him. I support it. And get your mind out of the gutter, Rachel. I said a sloppy sideways, not a sloppy something else. There are chart patterns that do sound dirty. I wasn't talking about it.
Okay, I've not been reading the chat as closely today, so be nice, everyone in the chat. That's what I'll say. Can we talk about Tesla here?
Yeah, please. And then
All right.
Uber.
Right. Well, it's one and the same. Can I pull up my screen? Oh, there's a chart. So yeah, it's down a little bit this morning. Can I pull up my screen here? I would like to. This is the.
Guys, you're the first guest.
First ones ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was the robo-taxi.
This is crazy.
Or
Make it
the,
full
whatever it's called. What?
Please put your seatbelt
Make it full screen.
on.
Oh, snap.
Sorry. Oh wait, no. Go full screen on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the cyber cab. That's what it's called. The cyber cab. It's basically like a Tesla without a steering wheel and without pedals. Right?
Dude, it looks so cool.
It's going to cost under $30,000 and supposedly will be ready before 2027. I'll take your word on that, Elon, but that's the deal here.
The robo taxi, as cool as it is, and he does a great job selling it. Like, just go pull up a YouTube video of Elon Musk like describing what this experience should be like. And I love his style. He's like, you're just sitting in a lounge and you're very comfortable lounge, and then you're done and you get to where you were going. So it's fantastic. I love the idea, but robo taxis, at least for now, according to the market, who I trust the most, not real. Still not real.
What about the what he called it? The robo van. What about the robo van, Steve? Are you feeling the robo van here? Let me bring that up.
So this is Tesla too?
Are you feeling the robo van?
People own fleets of taxis now.
Yeah, but look at this thing. This, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like all those like 90s futuristic cartoons. That's what this reminds me. I like this.
Yeah, but there's no clearance on this thing. Can it go over a speed bump? Look at that.
Hey, don't ask questions. I don't know.
What is it? A fucking snowmobile? Listen, these things, I get it, and it's awesome technology. However, they are just so goddamn ugly.
I don't know. I kind of like this one, man.
I'm about to complain to my HOA about all the cyber trucks that are popping up in my parking lot, because I just don't want to look at them. They're an eyesore. I think they should park them out on the street.
This is kind of cool, though. This is kind of cool.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Oh man,
so stupid.
You are no fun.
This isn't happening anytime soon. Maybe in Singapore. That's going to be in Manhattan. That thing's going to be driving around New York City streets. Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Who can say? Who can say honestly?
Here, okay. I got one. Hot take. We will be flying around in the electric helicopters by Joby.
The Jobies. The Jobies and the Archers?
Yes, the Jobies and the Archers. These cool little copters. They're doing big things. I think they're going to figure that out before any of these robo taxis ever become a real thing. I am so excited for the little mini helicopter rides. And if you listen to them talk about it, they're going to be like taking an Uber Black. Like very reasonable.
Everybody I don't know. Last time when you were at the airport in Chicago or wherever, you see ads for it. I saw ads for it everywhere.
They're coming. They're making a big push. They just did a big event in Grand Central Terminal a few weeks ago. Dara K from Uber was there. A bunch of other tech executives were there. They have a huge investment from Toyota Motors, Joby.
Yes, yep,
and then Stellantis, which is like Chrysler, Chrysler, from what I understand. They're invested big, basically funding Archer. So I think those things are actually coming and are probably coming a lot sooner than these crazy alien cars from Elon Musk.
So anyway, back to the market. This was obviously seen as a big event regarding Uber and Lyft because robo-taxi theoretically encroaches on their business. And the market is with you, Steve. They're not really. They saw these cars last night and they were like, really? Is that it? Because their response is Tesla down, Uber and Lyft up, right? That's the reaction this morning. So I think that's very notable in and of itself. Uber's up 5% this morning, just on this and on a heavy volume too, like 2 million shares before it traded for Uber. It's a lot. So
Uber looks fantastic. Another one of those charts. Okay, this is a huge theme right now. We're looking at all these charts, whether they're in financials. We've been writing about the ranges in tech. Look at what Uber's done this year. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Since late February, peaked, rolled over, and then it's been consolidating in a, 20-point range ever since. It's about to blast higher out of that range. So you have this huge uptrend off of the 2022 lows, right? 2023 was a great year for Uber. It was one of the top performers in the market. Then you have almost a full year of consolidation, digesting those gains from the years prior. What happens typically, this is just a rectangle pattern, continuation pattern. These patterns tend to resolve in the direction of the underlying trend, which is up and to the right off of those 2022 lows. I think Uber, explosive resolution coming. I think a lot of tech stocks, explosive resolution coming. I think all these bank stocks that we're discussing this morning, if they stick it today, big resolutions coming. We have been building up energy, building up fuel in these consolidations all year for a big run into the end of the year. I think dollar and rates are huge and they have to cooperate. As soon as you see dollars roll over, I think these ranges blow higher, and we get a big Q4 rally. I think it's coming. We've been building up energy for a big move for a long
And that's
long.
an interesting concept of stock charts as potential and kinetic energy, right? It's like they have energy, and they're either spending it or it's building up, right?
That's right.
And then it has to blast off in one direction or the other eventually, right? Kind of like Goldman Sachs, where it was like trading like as if it had gotten acquired. And it's a little bit less so now, right? But
think of uptrends. Think of uptrends, Spencer, as using the fuel, using the gas until there's none left in the tank, and then you consolidate and you're rebuilding energy. You're refueling for that next leg higher. Absolutely, I love it. Sam's been doing work on some kinetic energy indicator. There actually is a momentum indicator called something kinetic energy from way back.
Oh, the more you know.
Let's get him on to talk about it.
Sam's coming on Monday. So how about that?
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So listen, bottom line here, long Uber. Continue to be very, very excited about the future for Uber. I think this is a great
what Uber did?
Absolutely dominating 3 different industries now. Just exciting stuff going on here for the Uber.
You know what Uber did that excited me is Uber announced airport shuttles in New York. You can go, which like that helps me a lot if I ever need to get to like LaGuardia or JFK.
And Spencer, here's where it's even better. When we talk about Joby, they're already teamed up. You're going to get the Joby helicopter. It's going to come pick you up in the city or wherever you are, and it's going to drop you off right at LaGuardia. You're going to book that ride in your Uber app, just like anything else.
Because most people where I live, most people can get to either Port Authority or Penn Station pretty easily. And then from there, it's like, trying to get to LaGuardia is like trying to get to Guam. But Uber is saying, no, not so fast. So
I'll bet you can do a double. You could order the BOGO Big Mac, have the Joby pick it up. They pick you up in your helicopter. Your Uber Eats is waiting for you. Imagine a world. I mean, things are getting better all the time, people.
The BOGO Big Mac. Yeah, that's what we're missing. We're missing a co-branded McDonald's Uber situation somehow. Figure that out, guys. Through Uber Eats. Okay. 920. What else was on my list here? Tesla, Uber. We did the banks. Let's see. Big other things moving here. A.O. Smith. They preliminary had preliminary earnings this morning. They dropped some bad numbers. So AOS is down on pretty heavy. I guess not heavy volume. I take that back, but it's down about 9%. They gave some prelim earnings and they cut their guidance for the full year. So not good there. What else did I have? We talked about the DJT. Wolf Speed is up 6% this morning. We also had earnings. We had earnings from Fastenal. We don't especially care about that, but that's up on their report.
No. We do care about Fastenal. That's one of those economy stocks that analysts always, pay a great deal of attention to because it gives you a big read on like the manufacturing economy.
Because it's like nuts and bolts, right?
Yeah, Fastenal. It's like there's a handful of names. Flextronics is another one, like custom manufacturing, that like analysts will tell you, it's like the Dr. Copper railroad thing. There are names like that, and Fastenal is one of them.
Yeah, I thought they made. Oh yeah, I'm right. They make like fasteners. Okay.
Yeah, like nuts and bolts and shit. Yeah, exactly.
They make that stuff. All right. Yeah. So anyway,
4% is a $40 billion company. Yeah, nice, great. Chart looks good.
There was one more, I believe, that was on my list. I'm not forgetting what I remember what it was. Whatever. Not important. All right.
Market's holding in real nice despite this dollar strength. If you look at something like small caps, speculative growth, I think this has been pretty constructive the way we've corrected since late September. You look at something like the Dow, it's already making new highs. I think there's a big catch-up trade to be made from a lot of other groups right now.
Such as?
I mean, just look at the NASDAQ 100, right? Like, shouldn't that look more like the S&P 500 and the Dow? In other words, back at new all-time highs? There's trade to be made right there. I think you look at small caps at this point, holding where they need to be. Been ranging since July, sloppy, but ranging above any key VWAP, except for the VWAP from the September pivot high. You take that out, you take out this little coil, big catch-up trade from the small caps. You look at something like these ARC funds. Again, people get annoyed because we're talking about ARC a lot. It's an index, it's a barometer for speculative growth. Look at ARC Next Generation Internet, ARC W. This is the same thing that we're talking about with Uber, that we're talking about with tech, that we're talking about with Wells Fargo. Sideways all year, massive range, building up that energy, building up that fuel for a new leg higher. So I think there's a lot of stuff that you could look to right now. And the worst one, Spencer, like if you look at Zoom, or you look at DocuSign, or you look at Roblox, can't knock it down with a short report. All the worst stocks look fantastic right now. They can't break them down. Look at, we're long Peloton.
Dude, that's a really good point. Wait, that's a really good point. So Roblox had the short report out a couple days ago. And the timing really couldn't have been a whole lot worse because they released this report. Now, obviously, they're short before the report goes out. That's how this goes. But they released this report in an environment where there was this dash for trash, right? And all the crappy beaten down stocks are getting bid up, right? Yeah. So you're already fighting the tape when you publicly announce a short, right? You're already fighting. You're kind of on the wrong side already, right?
You know what ends up happening? These idiots, they put out these short reports, and then there's shops that are much bigger than them that know, okay, these guys probably have a monster short position on. Let's squeeze them out and make it a trade in the other direction for us. Maybe. And they get targeted, right? So if that short thesis doesn't work out, it's only a matter of time before a big hedge fund, comes around the corner and runs that short against you and then uses your short covering as fuel to make a nice quick trade.
Always a bigger fish. Also, something you said before, you asked about shouldn't the NASDAQ look more like the S&P? Isn't this kind of semantics? But like the NASDAQ is 2% from an all-time high, right? The Qs are 2%. That's one day, right?
Yeah.
So isn't it? It's there. I mean, isn't it? It's there. It's at all. It's approaching a new high. I mean, it's right there. It's one day away from a new high.
Which one?
Right. The Qs.
Yeah.
It's one day away. It's just one day away. So to me, in my mind, I see the Qs, 2% away from an all-time high. That to me, that might as well be an all-time high. You know what I mean?
All right. Then why not go buy some weekly Q calls that expire next Friday and make 3x on that move if it's such a done deal?
Okay.
Right? That's my point.
Then.
But I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's right. The bullish thesis for the Qs, they catch up. They're at new all-time highs soon. But you could use a derivatives market to make a nice trade out of that.
Well, all right, maybe I will. I have some time today.
Don't poo-poo a 2% move. That's what options.
I'm not poo-pooing it. I guess I kind of am. Yeah, okay.
But look, there's far sexier stuff is the problem, right? So in that environment, NASDAQ's catching up, making new all-time highs again. I want to be in ARC stocks. I want to be in these speculative growth stocks. Dawson made a comment. I'm short. I've been shorting these. Great. That's the great thing about trading. We've been selling doubles in these ARC stocks left and right. So what? Another one yesterday. What did we sell the double in yesterday? Snowflake.
Yeah.
And what was it the day before?
Robinhood.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, that's information. When we're selling the doubles and these trades are working, we just keep putting on more of them. I'm super long ARC calls right now. Basically, that thesis we just discussed, Qs playing catch up, I think it's bigger than just Qs. I think it's all tech. It's small cap tech. It's speculative tech too. And I think ARC's going to pay the most if and when that move comes. Also, if you buy a basket, right, something like ARC, I wrote about this the other day. I feel so much more comfortable oversizing positions when I'm in an ETF because stock-specific risk really stinks, right? Yeah, any day something could come out. What if you're in the Uber today and they liked what they said about the Tesla robo-taxi yesterday and Uber was your vehicle and it's down 10% today? It blows a trade. It really blows a trade. Something like ARC, I don't worry about a trade being blown on one headline or one press release or one analyst downgrade, right? If I'm in Unity Software or Snowflake or Peloton, anything could happen. Those trades could become losers. If I think the whole group is going to work, this is a speculative tech, new run that's coming, buy the basket and then use options to kind of leverage up. If you feel like you're not getting the beta that you would in an individual name, you can still juice your risk return profile using options at the index level or at the basket level with something like ARK. So that's kind of what I'm doing out here.
I saw chat mentioning CrowdStrike, which had a great day yesterday. CrowdStrike is right there. It's right there back at that gap. It's right there at the scene of the crime.
Dude,
right?
cyber is back. Look at all the cyber stocks yesterday, but it's bigger than just cyber. It's these like data marketing cloud companies. Look at the Datadog. Look at the Cloudflare, Net. Oh my God, you see them moving Net yesterday? Who's in?
Whoa.
Who's in the Net? Let's go.
Nick.
And if you zoom out, Net and Datadog, they had these massive trend reversals, right? That printed late last year. And then again, just like everything we're talking about today, a year of sideways, a year of corrective action, but holding those base breakout levels. Now they're taking off, reclaiming VWAPs from those year-to-date highs. And I think they're going to keep climbing up the right-hand sides of these bases. We have the Datadog chart. We can throw that up. That's on my Twitter too.
Please.
IGV is back. Yeah, Phil. It's bigger than just software, right? It's IGV. It's hack, it's cyber, it's ARKW, speculative software, XSW.
Yeah, they did nothing. Well, when was that high? Was that February?
Internet, FDN, cloud, sky.
Yeah. Mid February to now. Been a struggle.
Monster ranges.
We're through
Spencer, remember what this bull market is about. Remember what they're telling us. It's an AI revolution. It's a technological revolution is underway. Tech stocks have not been outperforming. On an equal weight basis, semiconductors have not outperformed for 4 years. Is this bull run going to come and go? Is this AI revolution going to come and go? And that was it for tech? These huge ranges don't break higher and give us another move? Historically, the returns for this bull market, the S&P 500, about half of what we average in a bull market. Even the duration, a little bit more than half of what we average in a typical bull market throughout history. I think these ranges, they're giving us what we need to get that other half. Book it.
Tech did outperform for pockets of this bull market, just not for the duration. Yeah, okay.
Not
Fonz,
so much.
Yeah, Fonz, you want to come on? You want to share a couple charts if you got them? I don't know if you're ready. I assume you are. Cool. Let's do it, and then we'll do a recess and get out of here. What up?
Hey guys,
What are we doing?
how's it going?
It's going, man. We're in a bull market. Things are going up. We're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with you guys. The last part of the show is speculative growth, stocks ripping higher, catching up to the leaders. For me, two groups within technology that really stands out are cybersecurity. I mean, the way I learn it is the bigger the base, the higher in the space. So HACK, the cybersecurity ETF, giving us a great opportunity here. Not only the ETF itself, but the components. Palo Alto looks great. I know CrowdStrike is right there pressing against the prior cycle highs. If CrowdStrike reclaim that level, that will be huge for the entire space. Also, software, of course. I mean, these tech subgroups have been going sideways for basically the entire year, and now are resolving higher. So I think we have a fresh leg up for technology between now and the year end. That's for sure.
This is some just exceptional chart work. These charts are so clean. They're so pretty. They are showing polarity in full effect. In other words, we ran right back up to where prices peaked and rolled over in late 2021, early 2022. And so many of these indexes. And then what did we do? We went sideways. And we just worked on constructively absorbing that overhead supply. One test, another test in the summer, another big sell-off, some volatility, back to the upper bounds, finally absorbed all that overhead supply. You get the breakout. And again, you have that energy now built up for a new leg. I think this is so constructive.
I mean, if you overlay Bitcoin here, it will look very, very similar. We have the same price action there with Bitcoin consolidating in a tight range, below overhead supply, buyers absorbing overhead supply. So if these technology stocks are breaking out and are about to start anew. Like, oh, it's hard to think Bitcoin won't during the party, right?
It's such a great point, Alfonso. I think you can even take it a step further and try to argue that Bitcoin and cryptos, they're really just more software stocks, right? A lot of times we say, oh, you know, Bitcoin, the big blue chip cryptos, they're like Mag 7 stocks, right? They're like mega cap tech stocks. I think you could even go further and say they're really like mega cap software stocks, right? Or large cap software stocks, these big cryptos like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they look the same as this soon?
Yeah, it's the same price behavior right now. Definitely, these tech stocks have been showing relative strength lately. So I think as long as we're above the prior cycle high for software and hack. Sorry.
Yeah. So now tell us, what do we do? What do you think we do with this information? Do we just buy these indexes against the prior cycle highs? I mean, that's probably one way to do it.
Yeah, it is definitely one way to do it, but also you can pick your favorite stocks, the one that are showing relative strength the most. For me, this is my favorite chart right now, probably my favorite stock right now. It's been a big winner for us. So the fact that it's breaking out on the way it is breaking out to new all-time highs, it speaks risk-taking behavior for this company. So yeah,
Steve, I should have listened to you, man. Months ago, you said just put this in your IRA and close your eyes, and I didn't do it. Should have done it.
A lot of people didn't listen to me on this one, and that's always great information. Like, I'm always happy to talk to friends and family about long-term investments more than anything.
And that's maybe why it's working so good. Right.
Yeah, I remember. No, the sentiment around it. Like, so these things stick out over time. You know, a lot of times over the years, you tell somebody, oh, you got to buy Apple. This is a great one. People don't argue. Okay, fine. With Palantir over the years, telling people, you know, bullish things and explaining the story of this stock to people, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to buy it. And that's always great information. Oh,
that's right. Exactly right.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Another time that happened, guys, you remember we talked about on the show, and I think it's just, you know, awesome to step back and remind ourselves of these moments when the AI thing kicked off. I don't know, 6 quarters ago, first half, second half, early second half of last year. We were telling everybody it's the same ones that you own. They're going to be the big AI winners. It's going to be Apple. It's going to be Meta. It's going to be Google, right? We told them it's all the Mag 7s. Nobody wanted that answer. No, we want super micro. How's that going? You know, they want the weird one. Oh, no, we want the AI, C3 AI. What? No, just buy the Apple, buy the Meta, buy the NVIDIA. That was always the playbook for playing this AI stuff. I think you'll have more ancillary plays in the future, but at least to start, I mean, that was it. Nobody wanted to hear that. They wanted like some sexy kind of new AI name. It's like, no, it's all the same players.
Yeah. Yep. Well said.
Yeah. All right, you guys want to do some retest and get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do that. Cool. I'll start. Fonz, chart 3, please.
Chart 3.
Yesterday, I saw this is so nerdy. I saw a relative rotation graph in the wild.
Oh, wow.
That's what this is. In full disclosure, I did not read this article, but this is in The Athletic, which is a sports site that I pay for. This is it actually, the title says it all right there. It's about hockey, right? And it's about which teams are contending, which teams aren't. But I saw this and I immediately thought, I've seen this kind of chart before. That's what this is. It's a relative rotation graph just about sports and not stocks. And I thought that was super cool. And I just wanted to share with you guys because I figured you guys would appreciate it like me, and the number of people that would appreciate this overlap are probably very small. But I chuckled to myself when I saw this, and I thought, hey, this is a pretty cool way of showing non-stock information. So I thought that was cool.
Bullish Rangers Devils, like that.
Very, very bullish Rangers Devils, very bearish Capitals. But hey, relative rotation graphs can be used for other things besides stocks. It can be used for sports teams as well. Look at that.
We're going to start talking about RRGs more. We're always looking at them. We don't bring them on the show enough. Right? We could animate them, make them move and stuff. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I saw this and I thought, oh, I bet you the author of this article, whoever he is, maybe a closet technician in a way. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But
What do you
I thought that was kind of cool. That's my recess. That's what I got.
That was cool.
Thank
I
you.
do like it.
I thought
I do
so
like
too.
it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Anyone have anything else?
I have nothing. I mean, this weekend I will try to stay quiet after traveling for 2 months. I think it's a good time to stay at home, spend time with the family. That's what my weekend will look like right now.
I love
Tomorrow's
that.
a Jewish holiday. Tomorrow's a Jewish holiday. It's Yom Kippur. It's the one that matters. It's the one where they make you fast and do all those things. So I'm gonna put myself. I am gonna fast, but I'm gonna put myself in a very bad position because I'm also planning our bi-monthly Costco trip tomorrow. So I'm gonna do that on an empty stomach, which is gonna be enjoyable. Not, but good luck to all those who are fasting and repenting for your sins, and they'll see you on the other side.
If you want to throw up slide 2, I'll just mention this quickly. With earnings season coming up, I want to say how excited I am for
Oh, nice.
this new universe that we're working on. We're going to call it the Beat Report. Basically, we're diving into earnings. We're big on technical trends here. Right? We're really big on technical trends. Now we're going to marry that analysis with earnings trends. And we're concerned less with whether they're beating the street estimates. We want to know if they're beating the market. In other words, did the price go up following the earnings report? That's really going to be the big tell to us. So we're going to go through sector by sector, do this kind of analysis. Are they missing? Are they beating? Are the reports mixed? But then we overlay on top of that, did the market reward them? And that's really the bigger piece of information about earnings. I think Wells Fargo, great example today. Like Spencer, you said, I don't trust this. The market's saying yes, right? Mixed report. Net interest income came in terrible, right? And then their peer, JP Morgan, is killing it. It's like, what are you doing? But the market's rewarding them. Stocks up 3-4%, whatever it is. That's really the information that we're after. If you throw up the other chart too, this little pie chart, we will notice big themes when we do this also. Like, hey, look at the growth areas of the market. Maybe they're missing, but the market's rewarding them anyway. Look at the value area. So we'll split it up, do different forms of analysis like this, make a bunch of cool visuals. And we should launch this, I would imagine, early next year. So very excited. Wanted to just throw that out there.
Did that last chart just show that analysts suck at guessing for the utilities? Is that what that should?
A lot of this analysis is showing that, but we already knew that. We already had the data. We already knew that. We're not here trying to follow analysts. We're here trying to see, are earnings a catalyst for higher prices for this stock, right? Is that the trend? Okay, and we'll get behind it. We'll also be able to identify, extreme sentiment dislocations at major tops and bottoms for stocks. In other words, think about it. At the bear market lows in 2022, a lot of these stocks were coming out missing earnings. They were missing earnings in a terrible way. But then all of a sudden, they started reacting higher to missed earnings, right? This was like this big shift. So, okay, that's where bottoms form, right? And at the top, we'll see the same thing, but reverse, right? We'll see, wow, these reports were great. They beat on top, they beat on bottom. They raised their guidance. Why is the stock down? That's the kind of stuff you see at top. So we're going to try to identify those extreme sentiment states also and help us maybe jump trend reversals that way. So that's all I got.
All right. Last thing before we go is a couple announcements. The next episode of Off the Charts is going live in a few minutes. The guys talked to Matt Kenna. How is this for a career path?
I loved this. This guy is fantastic. It's the first time I ever talked to Matt. Absolutely loved him. What a great conversation. He's such a spiritual guy. It's just he's so grounded.
What a career path this guy had. Chicago trading pits,
story.
Catholic seminary.
Great story.
Chicago trading pits again.
And we dove into it, right? We really dove in. Sean was asking some hard-hitting questions about his time in the seminary. We had a great chat.
I don't know what that says about trading or the seminary that he went. He left to go and then he left to go back. Anyway, Off the Charts will be available on Spotify, iTunes. If it's not up or now, will be momentarily. It'll be up on YouTube in a few minutes. So excited to hear that one. Steve, you're doing your weekly breakout multiplier strategy session today at noon. And that's what we got. And the next AAC Mastermind will come out today as well for all you premium members. That's what we got. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Alfonso. Thanks, Louie. Staying up late. We appreciate it. Smash the like. Go make money. Hey, follow us on the socials. We'd appreciate that. There we are. And we'll see you on Monday, all right?
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it